Well, hello everyone. Susie Tobias coming to you today, and I want to talk to you about COVID and the spike protein and I don't know, some issues that I've seen, some experiences that I've had. First and foremost, America, let's talk about this for a second. It's been interesting as a practitioner. For the past 3 years, things have been different in health, meaning there's been a lot of weird stuff that's shown up where you just it's been unexplainable. It's like their bodies are responding differently towards things or just not. It's been interesting to say the least. And I believe that a lot of this, well, comes back to COVID and the spike protein and the vaccine and the spike protein, because this is the deal. This is an envelope virus, which is very different from a lot of things. Envelope virus, kind of like Epstein-Barr. Okay, Epstein-Barr is one of those viruses that you pick up as a kid. Pretty much everyone ends up with it, but stays dormant. And then it comes out to play periodically throughout your life and disrupts things. One of the things that I've seen over these past few years is just reoccurring reactivations of Epstein-Barr across the board. People are exhausted, they don't feel good. I mean, and it's been stealing the lives of people, to be honest with you. And COVID wasn't something that was a big thing on my radar for a while, just because we saw it come in. We have been out of it for a while. We came out of quarantine. We've been out of things, and so it's not something that we've been really majorly focused on. And COVID got my attention. I'm just going to tell you this right now. I was one of those people who I was not vaxxed, and I did not get COVID. 3 years running, didn't get COVID. And I want to tell you my story on this, because I believe that God allows me to go through some things so I can figure out some things. And my journey now has helped a lot of people because I understand it now. Meaning this, I'll just talk about the first day. I got some people, it's interesting, they don't even feel bad, maybe lose taste, smell, and everything else, but it's there. Okay, you develop antibodies for it, all the things stays in your system. Spike protein gets on the cell and it stays in the cell. It's little spikes. Okay, it's going to cause some problems. All right. So for me, I was one of those people who got throat punched. Within 2 hours of this coming on, I was convulsing. I was sweating so bad. I was freezing though, freezing cold. My body temperature was hot. My system shut down on me and I slept for a few days. And when I came through, all of a sudden I had searing body pain in my hips. And I know the body, and I know that God designed us in amazing ways. And when our bodies become toxic, toxins will settle into the joints, into the tissues to protect the organs. My hips had lit up so bad, and I sat there and I was like, this is a toxin. I know what this is. I know exactly what this feels like. This is a toxin. And all I could say is I just need to get down to my sauna. If I could only get down to my sauna. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get down there for 2 days. I knew if I sweated, I would feel better. Okay, so by the time I got down to my sauna, we're talking, this is 4 days in. I've barely eaten. My body's shut down, doesn't want food, which is actually doing the smart thing. And I'll get to that in a second. I go down into the sauna. A normal person hasn't eaten or drinking. They're gonna drink. They're gonna come out of the sauna. They're gonna die. Basically, they're gonna pass out. I broke sweat and I felt normal. And I said, okay, this is interesting. Followed by my 2 days of sleep. I stopped sleeping altogether, and I thought, well, that's interesting. Why can't I sleep? Because I'm always looking for the root cause. Why? Normally people say, well, I slept too much. I've been sick. And I was like, this is my adrenals. So after 2 days of being wide awake, I took adrenal supplements, and lo and behold, it all came together. And it's interesting because your body just innately will kind of gravitate what it needs. Okay. So my body didn't want food. All right. So spike protein sits on the cell, okay, and the fastest way to kill it and to clear it is autophagy. Autophagy is where the cell, we're gonna rebirth things, okay. That's what we're doing here, all right. And fasting can get you into that state faster than anything. So my body was really going into that, and I naturally fasted. I was doing the 24-hour fast for the first 3 days. And it was interesting because like your body knows, but it kind of knows what to do. All right. So beyond that though, just recognizing, number one, it's a spike protein. We're going to hang out for a while. And my body started craving very certain things. Now I've known the protocol for clearing spike protein. It's just not something I focused on for years. So, and I still was in such a brain fog that I hadn't even gone to, oh, where's that? Okay. I sat there and my body just craved. My body craved mustard and it craved pineapple. And I was like, that's all I wanted. And I was like, what's going on? My body needed turmeric because anti-inflammatory. Bromelain is one of the things for clearing spike protein. I mean, it craved all the things that I needed to do this. And it was really just an interesting journey for me. So because of this, and as I came through this, now mind you, 2 other people in my house ended up with COVID and they got it way before me. And I started taking supplements. I started taking the right things to clear the spike protein. Now, week 2 is when I started everything because I was in a bad way. And when I popped out of this, I felt beyond normal. I felt amazing. And it's amazing because everybody else was like, I feel like I still have this. And it went into, I was getting the spike protein out. I was doing all the things that my body needed to do. So the moral of my story though, beyond this is even if you had COVID 2 years ago, okay, how's your health been? Honestly, have things been different? You're like, oh, I barely got it, Sush. But how's it doing? Have you noticed some really strange things happening? Are you having a hard time with, I don't know, weight loss? Are you having a hard time with just weird things going on? And all of a sudden you're sicker than normal and just all Epstein-Barr type symptoms. There's so many different things because it's like releasing the hounds in there, so don't negate what I'm saying is what I'm getting at is because you had a long time ago, or even same thing with the vaccine. The vaccine has the spike protein in it. I treat people that are vaccine injured. And what I found is when I came out of this, I was like, we're coming after this. And as we did, guess what? Everything started to resolve. Everything started to get better. So I've come up with a protocol and we're going to lay it out for you so you can see exactly what to take and the time frame of it. The fasting really helps with this, I'm going to tell you, and sweating. Sweating is key because sweating is, your body gets rid of the toxins from your skin, your stool, and your urine. And I found that really making sure you're getting a good sweat in, because what I found as well is when people start to take the supplements, they're releasing the hound. Like all of a sudden they'll be like, I don't feel well. Because the spike protein, it's pulling it out. So it's going to pull it out into your system and allow your system to be able to do what it needs to do to attack it and to rid the body of it. Okay. So the protocol will go the first 3 days. I have it set up to where we're looking at, you do 24-hour fasts if you can. You don't need to, it's not necessarily, but it's going to clear everything faster. And then we go into 18-hour fasts. It really helps to allow the body just to shut down and do the work. Okay. Prior to going into taking all of the supplements to pull it out, we have to make sure that pathways are open up. Okay. So methylation and detoxification has to happen. Okay. So if you're not, so there's certain supplements to help with methylation. If you're somebody who's like, I'm not a sweater, we need to figure that out for you because that says a lot. Genetically, we might have some issues with some methylation that we have to take care of. You never want to go after and kill anything, okay, unless you open up the pathways to be able to methylate and detoxify, because if not, those toxins are going to recirculate and you're going to have a lot of problems. And we don't want that. We want you feeling better. We want to get rid of what we've been through, right? We want to get to a better place. So those are one of the biggest key things within all of this. To get you through in the best way possible. And adrenal support, that's the other thing. I recognize the adrenals are taking a huge hit. And the people who have quote unquote long COVID, of where I'm so tired all the time. Oh, it's long COVID, it's your adrenals. And it's interesting because I went back and I did the research afterwards because I'm, that's me. I'm a science. I'm all about the science. Let's go do the research. And lo and behold, Epstein-Barr is the thing now with everybody reactivating. Everybody's got adrenal issues. But then there was my favorite symptom. Okay. Not so much. The nausea. Okay. So I've had digestive issues ever since. And I mean, like, I don't digest food well. I'm nauseous, just want to vomit. Sometimes there's diarrhea, there's GI issues, there's all sorts of problems. And I sat there and I was like, this is okay. Okay. So this is a long-term lingering effect. What do I need to do to fix it? So I'm somebody who already takes digestive enzymes. I take support. I take HCLs on top of that because I don't produce stomach acid. So I need extra support. And what I realized is I needed a lot more than I was getting. I was bloating. I was not feeling good. I mean, I was having reflux and felt like GERD and all the things. And so I had a day where I burped 4 hours after I ate, and I literally could taste all the food in my stomach, and it wasn't even hard to digest food. And that's when I went, I'm having not just am I having an issue with digestion, but it's slow emptying into the stomach, from the stomach into the small intestine. I'm like, this is problematic. So put the right supplements into place, worked out my digestion, and then everything is better. But it's interesting because if we don't make the tweaks for that, we're going to have some problems long term. I'll just tell you, because especially when we have slow emptying of the stomach into the GI tract, we don't want any gastroparesis. We don't want to have SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, because things are taking so long to get in there. They're going to ferment and they're not going to move as fast. So it's really important to do some assessment over yourself. Has your digestion changed? Has your taste and smell changed? Has your energy levels changed? What about your lungs? And that's the other thing that people miss coming out of this. I got on my bike in day 4. They're like, what? Yep. And because I knew my lungs needed to work, and they hurt and they burned day 1 that I was on the bike. Day 2, same thing, hurt and burned. By 3, they just burned. 4, they burned. 5, they cleared. Okay. And it's interesting because everybody else still was hacking a month out and my lungs were clear. So I used devices. I used all the right things to strengthen my lungs. And that's another piece that people are missing. And we're getting some scar tissue and some problems there. So anyway, it's a bigger problem than everybody thinks, and they think they ran through it and it's over, and it's not. So attached with this video, you will find our protocol for clearing the spike protein, and share this with everyone, please, everyone, because it'll give a lot of people their lives back. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm thankful for the journey. Hasn't been easy, hasn't been great, but it's been necessary because I can help you.